Hello everyone, Project Woodhaven here. Here's some footage. Some of it's from my wife's side of the family, some of it's from mine. And this ended up on Queen's Public Access Television a couple years ago. This first little bit here is a little snippet from 1963, 91st Street, after a snowstorm. This is up by Forest Park. And in the background you can see the Christ Congregational Church. There we go. So bulldozer church in the background there. This is Woodhaven 35 years ago. This is some footage, very brief snippet of my wife in her baby carriage in our driveway. Um, what's remarkable to me when I look at this is that we still live in this house. This is the house my wife grew up in. And right about that spot, right in the background, you see this white thing in the background. That's a garage. That garage is no longer there. And right where that baby carriage is, that's right now, that's where we barbecue every summer. So, I mean, it's just a real personal touch for me seeing this, knowing that, she was there. And there she is, right there, that little dark spot. That's my wife 35 years ago. All right, that's me and my mom. A couple years later, this is on Woodhaven Boulevard. Walking up there again during a snowstorm. This is from my side of the family. Some home movie footage of us walking up Woodhaven Boulevard and through Forest Park. A cute little smile I had. This is just past Park Lane South, up by the big hill that comes down on Woodhaven Boulevard. I'm being a little bit of a brat there, chucking some snowballs at my mom and my dad, who's behind the camera. My mom took it pretty well. We're very good friends. Here's a picture of me and my mama. I guess around that time, maybe a year or two later, at a Halloween party. We used to have great Halloween parties on Jamaica Avenue. We lived up by 95th Street, Jamaica Avenue, 9508. It was a Hoover place, like a vacuum cleaner repair place back then. Right next door to it was Heinz the Barber. We were down couple doors down from Reap's Candy Store, and now it's underneath where we used to live is Jibo's Pizzeria. That's me and my mom. I was Captain America, and she was a pirate. Okay, back to Woodhaven Boulevard. All right, now this is up in Forest Park, um, not far from the band shell and the carousel. There used to be a nice little place up there where you could ride ponies. There's a little park up there. It's me on the swings. And me playing with some other kids. A little sandbox. I don't think they have sandboxes anymore nowadays, do they? Those were always great fun. Well, they shut the water fountains off in the wintertime, kid. You're out of luck there. All right, that's me and my dad. Let's see, I'll back that up a little bit. See him a little better. There he is. My dad holding me up. And here's a picture of my dad when he was about the same age as I was, I guess, when he was carrying me there. Huh? He lived in Brooklyn. Moved to Woodhaven with my mom when they were first married. Here's one of my favorite pictures of my dad. This is him playing baseball, Power Memorial High School. Picture from his school yearbook. We had this one actually also as a glossy 8x10. I have this hanging up on my wall. And sadly, we lost my dad in summer 2005. The last couple of years of his life, he spent a lot of time in the backyard here in Woodhaven. And he built a beautiful garden. And most of his time was spent out in the backyard, especially, all summer long, watering flowers and just hanging out there. And this was a painting I did of him. I'm not a very good painter. But this is a pretty accurate representation of our backyard. With the table, we've always strung lights in the backyard and always had flowers around. And he was typically out there in his chair with a hose and watering everything. Our water bills, I guess were usually pretty big. He used to be out there and he'd water all the time. Everything was always soaking wet in the backyard. He had a great time with it. And finally, here's something that's interesting. My dad was very involved in the Little League, Woodhaven Little League, and this was the booster that was sold for a couple of years. What the booster was, every time we'd have a parade once a year at the beginning of the year, and then all the kids would run around the neighborhood selling these boosters for $1 each. And each kid who joined the Little League, they were required to sell, I think it was 15 boosters. And basically the deal was, if you were a parent and your kid was in the Little League, your child had to sell 15 boosters. And if he didn't, you had to make up the difference. So you'd run from store to store first and then from home to home and try and sell them. The parade, we started it at 111th Street and Atlantic Avenue. There was a restaurant there. Can't remember the name of it now. Now it's a funeral home. And we would walk down 111th Street and then down Jamaica Avenue, all the way down to Forest Parkway, and then up Forest Parkway through the park, and we'd end up at the band shell. And then as soon as we got up there and a few people gave some speeches, they would release us, and all the kids would go running. I'm talking they go booking through Forest Park all the way down to the avenue, because the first kids down to the avenue had the best shot at selling the boosters to the store, because every store at least would buy at least one. So you'd go running, and you'd be in the band shell, and you'd be discussing your strategy about where you're going to go. And I remember one year, me and my friends, we had our strategy all mapped out. As soon as it ended, we actually ran through the park to Woodhaven Boulevard, then straight down Woodhaven Boulevard, and started from there. And we were the first kids in that area. We were all sold out, by the time we got through the first block or two, running the stores. Whereas the other kids all were booking down, Forest Parkway and hitting that end. Long story short, my dad was the one who drew this booster, and it was a picture of me. And I remember actually standing posing for this picture, and him drawing this. And so this was my dad's drawing of me, and I still see this every once in a while. When you go into Pop's restaurant, there's one on the door, and I still see it from an occasional house when I drive by. Sometimes I'll look up, and I'll see them around. So there's still a few of them around Woodhaven, and it's just real nice for me to see that little piece of history that in Woodhaven here connects me and my dad. Okay, we wrap up this footage, and obviously earlier I made a little bit of a mistake and said 35 years ago. Didn't do the math correctly. Turns out that it was, I guess, 45 years ago. 63, 73, 83, 90. Oh, jeez. Well, this has been really depressing. But I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.